Tomorrow is Jobs Day, where there will be a jobs report coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The estimates are not good, and there's a lot of vibes that are pretty bad. Joe Weisenthal from Odd Lots had a tweet that showed the Jolts Report, which is sort of new hires rate, which is at the levels we have seen since April 2020. And that is a pattern that smells suspiciously like artificial intelligence. And I know the economic brains say the record is mixed, but the data on AI job loss has been that it's not really that jobs are being truly, laid off, but that it is that they are being unhired. The Jolts thing was interesting because it actually, if you talk to any young person right now, anyone who's in college, anyone who's not in college, they're like, the job market is abysmal, totally abysmal. And it is sort of the same thing if you are, somebody who is working a W-2. If you have a job, it is probably wise to hold on to it right now because of where the economy is about to go.
And people are holding on to them, to the extent that they can. It's usually not good for the economy when people feel terrified to leave their job because they don't think they'll ever get another one.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I try not to do economy by vibes. But you and I we're both very concerned about the impacts of AI. We both also have used the tools that are out there and are blown away by what they are capable of. And again, not to be vibes economying, but it just seems obvious to me that there are people starting small businesses and stuff that would have normally hired a team of 8 that are instead hiring one person who knows how to use AI.
Or who are holding off on investments because of the uncertainty, the war. Even the mortgage rates this morning went up for the 5th straight week, pushed up by Iran war worries. I'm not actively in them. I'm in the phase of home buying where, my wife and I are on Zillow all day.
That's the best part.
The best, where you don't have any responsibilities.
I hated the owning part.
But nobody
sold my house.
Yeah.
I was I was wait, so who fixes this? Where's my landlord? They were like, sir, you owned it.
You own the home.
I don't know.
I disagree with this.
I sell.
100%. No one's buying right now. If you talk to a realtor would tell you that, the market is freezing. And I have to sort of say, and that's obviously DC is a particular, area, but I actually think vibes economy stuff is sort of important because that was the Delta. That was how, us in the Biden administration got done in, right? Where it was the facts are on your side, but the vibes are not on your side.
They're this is actually the 4th best Thanksgiving per capita since the 1998.
I have been responsible for a number of bad tweets. I would say that the worst tweet I ever was personally responsible for was this tweet that we did at the White House the first sort of Thanksgiving. And we were prices are going down on, this basket of Thanksgiving. And it was turkeys are down 5 cents, and it was the kind of thing where everybody, it's it was so clarifying because it's sort of everybody in the building was those numbers are great. Everything in the bag of goods is down. And then you actually sent it out into the world and everyone was we're dying here,
Right.
And so there is this thing of that actually happens when you're in these situations, but the vibes are different than what the numbers.
I mean, just to be clear, that almost certainly wasn't the worst tweet you've ever done. I mean, I've seen so many of your tweets, and that can't even be top.
There's some worse
top 100, but I pulled up a clip here too. Republicans don't really know how to grapple with this right now.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of what you guys faced, where it's there's not really a good way to spin it. I think the best thing you can do is to try to I think people would be wise to go back and watch how Obama won re-election in 2012 when people still felt the recession was still so painful, and it was a lot of I feel your pain and we're recovering, but not obviously not nearly as fast as we need to be, and because doing the economy is good actually, and we've done better than other countries. It just lands with a thud for people who can't afford stuff.
That Obama guy was pretty good.
He was good at this.
I think that some people who work for him should start a podcast.
Yeah, and they should, and they could call it, maybe there would be Pod Save America, or the world even. I got this.
Somebody knows something.
Somebody, right? Somebody who actually has won an election.
I think right now, at least just kind of keeping a stiff upper lip. Maybe you take one less trip to Starbucks, and so that gas goes a little further until this thing is over and these gas prices come back down again. Let's just try to be patriots about this.
And people living in poverty are just not very. They're not very experienced at navigating the real world. You literally have to teach people how to budget.
You have so many proteins to choose from, and all commodities go through peaks and valleys. It is a global market. but we will be seeing a difference.
We're certainly not ready to hang up a mission accomplished sign, but hundreds of thousands of jobs in the private sector are being created.
I mean, not that there are good things to say, but I feel like there are better things to say than, well, people in poverty don't understand how to navigate the real world. And when it comes to beef, there's tons of proteins.
Yeah,
Eat
tofu.
chicken. You
Tofu. There's nothing good to say when you're in this situation where you're the party that is governing and the economy is going bad. Now, here's the thing. The economy right now is bad purely, but largely because of choices that Donald Trump has made. Right. And that's not like us being two libs. Like, he hit the go to war button. He hit the go to war with the oil people button.
He hit
the oil.
The 1 year anniversary of Liberation Day.
He liberated
to celebrate it. He liberated Pam Bondi.
Yeah, exactly. He liberated us from falling prices.
Between the tariffs and the war, it's like you almost never have such a clear nexus of like, president, make prices go up.
And people are seeing it. I mean, the gas buddy guy said,
We get that guy on, by the way.
Get the guy.
I just won't.
Did you know that he's so easy to book? He has a Calendly.
Oh my God, we can just
You
book
can
him
just
on
book him on
Calendly?
Calendly. It's like free Cameo.
That is it. It's like free Cameo. It's like if I did a Cameo, I'd be like, I'm just doing
It's like, my calendar is open. Have me on whatever.
I'm just trying to get some batting practice in with being in front of camera, really. The gas buddy guy is just like incredible.
He's the guy, and he says that he doesn't see any plan to prevent gasoline prices from rising to $5 a gallon. Hope doesn't get there, but lack of a plan, diesel could hit $6. And this is the thing. This is like, oil and gas is not just a consumer problem. It's like the cost of like running the trucks, and the cost of like moving the stuff to the grocery stores. Everything then goes up, and so like this is a real impact on everything. So it's actually, I think, why there is such a connective tissue between oil and gas prices and presidential approval. The economy feels bad when gas prices are high.
Right. It's a real thing.
Nobody knows anything.